The first time I realized my family was a battlefield disguised as a dynasty was the day I found the hidden file. Tucked away in my deceased mother's old desk, a mahogany relic that had witnessed decades of Rodriguez family secrets, was a folder that would unravel everything. I'm Elena Rodriguez, 35, a documentary filmmaker who spent her career exposing hidden truths. The irony wasn't lost on me that the most complex story was unfolding within my own bloodline. My sister Sophia had always been the golden child. Perfect grades, perfect smile, perfectly positioned to inherit everything. While I chased stories across continents, capturing narratives of forgotten communities, she was meticulously crafting her path through our family's labyrinthine power structure. The documents revealed a calculated betrayal that took my breath away. Forged signatures, manipulated bank records, legal documents that systematically erased my existence from our family's financial landscape. My father, once a man I respected, had been gradually convinced that I was somehow unworthy, a financial risk, an embarrassment to the Rodriguez legacy. Each page was a surgical cut, revealing how Sophia had orchestrated my elimination from the family inheritance. Bank transfers, legal consultations, strategic conversations with our aging father, all carefully designed to strip me of my birthright. The precision was almost admirable, if it weren't so devastatingly personal. Our family had always been about power, not love, not connection, but pure, unadulterated control. My mother, before her death, had warned me. "Be careful of your sister," she'd whispered, her eyes holding a knowledge she never fully shared. Now, years later, those words echoed with a chilling prophecy. Sophia's ambition knew no boundaries. As a rising political consultant with connections that spiderwebbed through state corridors of influence, she saw our family's wealth as her personal chessboard, and I was just another piece to be strategically removed. The total value of what she'd maneuvered away from me wasn't just about money. It was our family's art collection, inherited properties in 3 states, investment portfolios carefully built over generations. Millions of dollars, yes, but more importantly, a legacy. Our family's history, systematically rewritten to exclude me. I took a deep breath, tracing my fingers over the meticulously prepared documents. This wasn't just theft. This was a declaration of war. The legal documents spread across my desk were a cold, mathematical representation of betrayal. Each page was a calculated slice of my family's ruthlessness, meticulously prepared by my sister Sophia to erase me from our family's legacy. I'm Elena Rodriguez, a documentary filmmaker who's spent years exposing hidden truths. The greatest story of manipulation was unfolding right in my own family, and I was the protagonist I never wanted to be. The forgeries were masterful. Bank statements showing fabricated financial irresponsibility on my part. Carefully crafted legal documents that painted me as an unreliable daughter. Sophia had woven a narrative so intricate that even I momentarily questioned my own memories. Our father, once a man of principle, now seemed like a puppet in Sophia's elaborate scheme. Medical records suggested early-stage dementia, making him vulnerable to her manipulations. She'd strategically positioned herself as his sole trusted confidant, whispering poison about my supposed financial recklessness. I traced my fingers over a forged signature, my name, but not my handwriting. The precision was clinical, almost artistic in its cruelty. Sophia had leveraged her political consulting skills, using her network of legal contacts to create a paper trail that systematically dismantled my claim to our family's wealth. The total value of what she'd stolen was staggering. Family properties, investment portfolios, art collections, generations of accumulated wealth now redirected into her name. But it wasn't about the money. This was about power, about completely erasing my existence from our family's narrative. My mother's last words haunted me. "Be careful of your sister." She'd seen something I had been too naive to recognize: the cold, calculating nature that lurked beneath Sophia's perfect exterior. This wasn't just a financial betrayal. This was a complete and total war, fought with legal documents instead of weapons. And Sophia had clearly been planning her attack for years, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. I realized then that my response would need to be equally strategic. This wasn't a battle that could be won through emotional outbursts or legal complaints. This required a precise, calculated dismantling of everything she believed she had secured. The war room of my revenge wasn't an actual room, but the meticulously organized workspace of my downtown loft. Walls covered with timelines, digital folders encrypted with military-grade security, and a network of carefully cultivated contacts who would become my arsenal. Martin Reyes, a discreet legal expert specializing in complex family fraud, was my first strategic ally. A former federal investigator turned private consultant, he understood the intricate dance of legal manipulation better than anyone. "Your sister's not just skilled," Martin explained, spreading digital forensic evidence across my large monitor. "She's systematically brilliant. Each document is crafted to create plausible deniability." We mapped Sophia's vulnerabilities like military strategists planning a complex operation. Her political ambitions were her greatest weakness, a carefully constructed persona of ethical leadership that would crumble with precise exposure. Her upcoming gubernatorial campaign consultation contract was particularly vulnerable. One wrong move, one strategic leak, could destroy years of carefully built reputation. She'd positioned herself as an EO anti-corruption consultant, the irony of which was not lost on me. Financial records revealed complex shell companies, redirected inheritance funds, and manipulated trust documents. Each piece of evidence was a potential weapon. Martin's expertise helped me understand the legal landscape, where to strike, how to strike, and most importantly, when. "We need more than just evidence," Martin cautioned. "We need a narrative that destroys her credibility completely." My documentary filmmaking skills would be my primary weapon. I'd spent years telling stories of systemic corruption, exposing hidden truths. Now, my most personal project would be my most devastating. We identified key pressure points: her political connections, her business partnerships, the carefully curated public image that masked her true nature. Each element would become a domino in a carefully constructed sequence of exposure. Social media forensics revealed additional vulnerabilities: cached messages, deleted emails retrieved through specialized software, professional network connections that suggested conflicts of interest. Sophia had been meticulous, but not infallible. My strategy wasn't just about financial retribution. It was about complete exposure, revealing the systematic manipulation that had defined our family dynamics for years. I would dismantle her carefully constructed world, piece by calculated piece. "Remember," Martin warned, his eyes meeting mine with a mix of professional respect and caution, "once you start this, there's no turning back. This will destroy not just her career, but potentially your entire family's reputation." I smiled, a cold, calculated expression that surprised even myself. "Some bridges," I responded, "are worth burning to the ground." The gun glinted under the soft office lighting, its presence both shocking and absurdly theatrical. My sister Sophia, always the dramatist, had chosen her weapon carefully. Not just a physical threat, but a psychological declaration of war. "Sign the papers," she demanded, her voice a controlled whisper that barely masked the tremor of desperation beneath. I'd known this moment was coming, anticipated it, prepared for it with a precision that would make a chess grandmaster proud. The documents lay spread across the expensive mahogany desk, the same desk our father had used for decades, now a battlefield of family betrayal, transfer of rights, absolute renunciation, a legal guillotine designed to sever my last connection to our family's legacy. Sophia's hand was steady, but her eyes betrayed her. Those perfectly manicured fingers wrapped around the weapon told a story of someone who had planned this moment meticulously, yet was terrified of potential complications. "You've thought of everything," I said calmly, "except one thing." Her grip tightened. "And what's that?" The smile that crossed my face wasn't born of humor, but of a cold, calculated strategy that had been years in the making. Each piece of evidence, each carefully documented manipulation was about to become her undoing. That I've been documenting everything. For the first time, a flicker of uncertainty crossed her face. The gun, previously an instrument of intimidation, suddenly felt like a liability rather than a weapon. I watched as the realization began to dawn. The digital trail I'd created wasn't just evidence. It was a comprehensive deconstruction of her entire carefully constructed facade. Bank records, forged documents, manipulated medical assessments of our father. Each piece meticulously collected, verified, and prepared for strategic release. "You're bluffing," Sophia whispered, but the tremor in her voice betrayed her doubt. "Am I?" I reached into my bag, pulling out a slim folder. "Shall we discuss the 3 separate investigations currently building cases against you?" The gun wavered, just slightly. But in that moment of hesitation, I knew I had already won the first battle. The silence was deafening. 3 months after the press conference, the dust had begun to settle. Legal proceedings had stripped Sophia of her professional licenses, dismantled her consulting firm, and exposed the intricate web of manipulation she'd spent years constructing. Our father, now fully aware of the extent of the betrayal, had been placed under medical care. The early stages of dementia that Sophia had exploited were now being properly treated, his mental clarity slowly returning. Each lucid moment brought another revelation, another piece of the puzzle that confirmed my narrative. The financial restoration wasn't complete. Legal battles rarely offer perfect justice, but I had reclaimed a significant portion of our family's inheritance. More importantly, I had reclaimed my narrative. My documentary about our family's systematic betrayal had become more than just a personal story. It was now required viewing in several legal and ethics courses, a testament to the complex nature of familial manipulation and institutional corruption. Martin Reyes had become more than just a legal consultant. He was a confidant, someone who understood the psychological complexity of what I'd endured. "You didn't just win a legal battle," he told me one evening over coffee. "You rewrote the entire power dynamic of your family." The media coverage was relentless. Talk shows, investigative programs, podcast discussions. My story became a narrative about power, betrayal, and the intricate ways family dynamics can become battlegrounds of manipulation. Sophia never reached out. Her social media accounts were defunct, her professional network decimated. The powerful connections she'd cultivated had evaporated like morning mist under the harsh sunlight of exposure. I didn't feel triumphant. I felt resolved. The most profound change wasn't financial or professional. It was personal. I had discovered a strength I never knew existed, the ability to dismantle a carefully constructed system of betrayal with nothing more than truth, strategy, and an unwavering commitment to justice. "Some wars," I wrote in the epilogue of my documentary, "are fought not with weapons, but with the most powerful force known to humanity, the unvarnished truth. The Rodriguez family legacy would never be the same. And for the first time in my life, that felt like a victory,